Hey there. Today, let's go over what to do when you had an awesome stretching session, but then the next day you wake up and you try to stretch again and everything's all tight and sore. Let's play ball. Let's quickly address that stretching in itself is a simple form of an isometric exercise. Here's what I mean. We would never normally consider holding a plank position to be a stretch. However, if your wrists are totally not in the best optimal condition in terms of flexibility, then by stretching it by holding a plank, this becomes a stretch for the wrist as well as an isometric exercise for the core, arms, shoulders, triceps. Therefore, it's simply a how do you view the exercise or the stretch you're doing. If I'm doing a sitting forward fold and I'm just passively holding it, then it might feel like a stretch. But if I want to make it more of an intense exercise that's gonna work my muscles, I'm gonna engage them, pull my toes backwards, and I'm gonna squeeze my core down and hold it with muscular engagement. Now this becomes an actual exercise that will work my musculature as well as my range of motion. And when you do normal workouts like lifting things up and putting it back down, even though you're sore the next day, you could still tend to move in that range of motion, which is not the case when it comes to stretching very hard. Let's say you're stretching and on the good day you're able to get all the way down here, but then come the next day and you find you're having trouble just going here and everything's tight due to your body being sore and you not having the already there strength to be like this. You're gonna lock yourself up very tightly, and that totally sucks, and that's gonna make you think that something is wrong and that something bad is happening, but in actuality it's just par for the course. Movement is 100% healing. So with them super sore legs, we're gonna start with a series of doing high knees up and then to the side, alternating legs. Doing this is a good way just to get the leg moving without actually forcing it to stretch too much, because the knee is always bent. Once we do these a couple of times, we're gonna immediately drop down into some very simple squats. Now while I'm doing my squats, full range of motion, you can do your squats just going halfway, just making it feel good. The purpose is simply just to get blood flowing through the leg and to tell yourself that you can move in a range of motion even though your legs are really sore at the moment. Afterwards, we want to expand the range of motion that's now capable in your legs. Thus, we will start to kick it outwards with a straight knee just to make it feel good. Not too hard because we don't want to rip anything. Not that that's actually gonna happen, but kicking out to the front and to the side whilst alternating legs is a good place to start. And when we're kicking, we're not gonna kick with too much power. Again, we're just trying to make it feel nice and warm. After doing that for a little bit, we're gonna find that sumo squat stance, and from here start performing a little bit of micro reps, making sure that the knees are nice and pushed out, making sure everything feels nice and warm. This little bit of movement, though, when you first start, may be a bit difficult to get into, but as you warm up, it will become much easier and your legs will start to feel better immediately. When doing this, body weight will suffice. And of course, we could do some simple toe touches. Notice I'm going to have a rather intense bend in my knee because I'm not going for that perfect form. I'm simply going for a little bit of range of motion just so I could feel it in the back of my hamstring, going down, up. As I go down, I am making sure that my core is relatively engaged, and this should feel good. An opposite way of doing this is starting down here, tucking the chin, and then lifting the legs back like that. Honestly, I much prefer this method as opposed to going up, down, whichever one you prefer, but that's good just to make sure the hamstrings feel nice and active. So now that we have warmed up the legs a little bit and got the blood flowing, now it's time to target the stretch that got you all tight in the first place. Say you're stretching and your leg and your main stretch was the pancake. You're gonna have to go into that same pancake again, but you're just gonna give it, say, approximately 50% energy, nothing too serious, because even though your range of motion won't be as good as it was yesterday because you're sore today, you should still move in that exact same range of motion just to tell your body, hey, even though we're sore, we're still gonna move, and it's okay that we're not as great as we were yesterday, because stretching just like when it comes to working out, you're gonna get sore, and then you're not gonna be able to perform as well. You're gonna have days where you're able to stretch excellently, and then you might even have a couple of weeks where it feels like you're totally plateau. It's a very normal feeling, and the important thing here is to keep it going. I will add that as your body starts to warm up and heat up, it's gonna start to feel pretty darn good. So it's only right that you start to increase the level of intensity in accordance with how nice and warmed up you feel. Notice how I'm allowing the momentum to carry my leg back so that I could swing it up even higher. The exact same will be done to the side of my body, allowing the leg to swing through and opening it up. What I won't be doing today is holding any static stretch for a prolonged period of time. What I'm going to utilize instead is pulses, like pulse, like heartbeat pulse, meaning we're just going to get into the position, feel uncomfortable for maybe half a second, pop right back out, into, out. By having this dynamic way of stretching, we're ensuring that we're forcing our body into an end range of motion, but we're not going to hold it for so long that gives our body a chance to really get re-soar even more, you know? And this way of stretching will be done for all the static stretching that we did yesterday. Say, example, if we did pancake and we did, say, 5 sets of 30 seconds like this, today, because I'm trying to just re-warm up my legs, make them not so sore, flush the area with blood, I'm not going to be holding it for 30 seconds at all. I'm just going to do pulses. I might do 5 to 10 reps going down and up, down and up 5 to 10 times in a way that's just not too serious, at say maybe about 50 to 80% max intensity. This might also be a good day to do what's known as jumping. Now, why are we jumping? This just has to do with the fact that most grown people, they tend to never leave the ground. It's always just one foot in front of the other, no running, no nothing. And it's just a belief of mine that if you don't condition your legs to absorb impact, then your ability to do so will greatly suffer. And if you ever have to absorb impact, it might not end up so well. Like if you slip on something or you have to run instantaneously for whatever reason. So on a day like this, when we're just trying to recover, I think it's a good idea to just add in a couple of hops here and there. If you like what you saw there, I make videos like this pretty much all the time. So if you like, comment, subscribe, that will let me know to make more of this. By the way, if you like the shirt I'm wearing, I do have a link merch in the comment bio below. Cop yourself some. I think it's pretty cool. And now you know.